This video is to give you a look at the assignment interface in the ALEKS platform. So whenever you log back into ALEKS, you're going to get your home screen, and in this case I have the timeline tab selected on my home screen. I could also click on the Pie tab, but for the moment I'm going to leave it on the timeline tab. Doesn't matter. But you notice in the timeline tab it kind of tells you where you are right here with the orange marker. It's sort of telling me that at this point I haven't done any work today, I haven't learned any topics. And then it also is showing you your goal. So in this case, my goal is that I have to complete my first assignment by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And right now I have 50 topics to complete between now and then. That's quite a few topics, but you'll notice there's 70 topics in the entire assignment. It's worth mentioning while we are here how an ALEKS assignment is graded before we look at the assignment interface. So your assignment is graded based on the number of topics that you complete by the due date. So in this case, if I completed all 70 topics by Sunday at 11:59 p.m., then I'd get 70 out of 70 or 100% on my assignment. If I completed 63 out of the 70 topics, I would get a 90%. For example. So that's how assignments in ALEKS are graded. It's by the amount of topics that you complete by the due date. That's the way that I set it up in my course. Other instructors might set it up differently in their course. There are some other settings that you can use, but in my course, it's all about the number of topics that you complete by the due date. So, as we pointed out in the earlier tutorial videos, over here on the left is sort of your navigation bar, and it says that this assignment, this review Objective 1 and Objective 2 assignment is the next assignment due. It's due again on Sunday. And in order to start or continue working on that assignment, all you have to do is click the Continue My Path button. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And when you click that, it'll take a moment for the system to load, but it's going to bring up the first question that it thinks that you should complete next. A couple of notes about the question screen, things that are new and different that we haven't talked about yet. Up here in the upper right, you have a question progress bar, and this shows you how many correct answers you need in a row in order to learn this topic. Now in this case it says 0 of 5. What that ultimately means is I've got to get 3 questions in a row correct in order to learn the topic. But in every case you've got to fill that meter to consider the topic learned or complete. The other thing you'll notice is down here at the bottom, we have an explanation button. So if you come upon a question and you don't know how to do it, or you try it and you get it wrong, there is an opportunity for you to learn from the system. The system will tell you what the right answer is and why that answer is correct. We'll look at that window in a few minutes. So we have our first question here, in this case 241 minus y equals 125, and it wants us to solve this. So let's go ahead and just attempt this question for sake of argument. So I'm going to use my calculator here. But before I do that, maybe it's worth pointing one other thing out. Over here on the right-hand side of the screen, you do have your Tools tab. So your Tools tabs. The top one is the Tools tutorial. That's under the question mark. So you click on that. You're not sure how to enter an answer. You can click on that and be refreshed about it. Second one is a calculator. Because this is a math-based question and an algebra question, the tutorial doesn't, or the assignment doesn't want you to use the built-in ALEKS calculator for this. You can use your own personal calculator, however, if you choose. There's a data tab. I'll go ahead and click on this and let it open. It takes just a second. This tab will be useful to you as we get into the course. There's a bunch of constants in here, etc. For example, if you click the plus sign next to SI prefixes, there's a table of SI prefixes that you can refer to. There's volume formulas for different solids in here. These are all things that you can use that might help you solve a particular problem. So keep in mind that they are over here. There's also the trusty periodic table. We don't need that for this question, but it's here. You've seen that in your initial knowledge check and other tutorials already. And then there is a textbook link. Our textbook in my course is not linked to ALEKS, so that link is not useful for us in this course. But if you are in a course where a textbook is linked, that is useful. So now that I've pointed out the tools, let's go back over here to the question and let's actually solve this particular problem. So we're asked to solve for y, and in this case we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll take 125 minus 241, which is negative 116, and we'll divide by negative 1, and so our answer should be 100. The correct answer should be 116, and so we'll type that in. And if you want to check your answer, now you're going to go ahead and hit the check button at the bottom. So let's see if we did this right. And lo and behold, we did. And what you notice is up here in the right-hand side, in the progress meter, I've now filled 1 of 5 spaces because I got the first question right. So let's go ahead and click Next at the bottom here to go to the next question. And okay, now we have to solve for W. And so we have, in this case, 255 minus 182. Hold on, 255 minus 189. And divide by negative 1. So this answer should be negative 66 if I've done my math right. So we'll go ahead and hit check again. And lo and behold, we're correct yet again. And now you notice instead of moving up just 1 space in this completion meter, you notice that I jumped 2 spaces. So the first question I got right was worth 1 because I got 2 right in a row. Now I add 2 more. And if I get another question right, which we'll try to do in just a second, I'll add 2 more even and I'll have learned this topic. So the fastest way to learn a topic is to get 3 questions right in a row. It's not the only way. You can go back and forth. Maybe you get a couple right, then maybe you get 1 wrong, etc. There's a variety of ways to get this meter full. But the fastest way is to get 3 questions right. Let's see if we can do that. So I'll go ahead and click Next and look at our next question. So here again, we're supposed to solve for W. So let's do that. 49 minus a 258 divided by negative 1. And I think that answer is 209. So let's check that. Hopefully I'm right. And lo and behold, I am. And you notice that your progress meter in the upper right has filled up now completely. And if you click Next, it's going to congratulate you for completing your first topic. You've learned your first topic. You have 49 more to go. Keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and click Continue My Path. And I'm continuing my path here now. You notice when I click Continue My Path, it brings up another tutorial. It says we should click this down arrow to see all the remaining 49 topics in our assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It is not necessary to click the down arrow and move this way through the assignment, but sometimes you may want to do this because you get tired or hung up on a particular topic and you want to move to something else and work on it and maybe go back and ask your instructor a question on the previous topic before you proceed. The topics in this little carousel that drop down are listed from left to right in order of, quote, increasing difficulty. And so you notice this first topic is the one that the question is about, and that's the multiplication property of equalities with signed fractions. If you click on this, hover over this little diamond thing here in the corner, it tells you that that's a goal topic. In other words, if you complete that topic, that is one of the required 49 topics I still have left in my assignment that I have to complete. And most of these are. And as I said, you can scroll here to the right using the arrow key through all the topics, all 49 of them that are in this particular assignment. And if I scroll far enough here, I'll stop here. You notice I got this last topic here, solving a proportion of the form, this polynomial form here. And you notice this topic has a little padlock on it. And if I hover over that, it says it's locked. What that means is right now I can't do that topic. I have to do something over here to the left or several somethings before this will unlock. And that'll happen automatically. It just means that I can't click on this and try to do this problem right now. If I try, nothing happens. It tells me that it's locked and it'll give me a list of the things that I have to complete first. I'm not going to go ahead and click on anything harder. I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to stick with the easiest possible topic. So I'm going to go ahead and close my carousel. Just click the arrow underneath it again. And now it wants me to solve for x in this particular problem. So let's go ahead and give that a try. So this should be negative 6 times 8 divided by negative 3. And so if I'm correct, I believe the correct answer here is 16. So let's go ahead and see if I was right. And I am correct. So again, you notice your progress meter went up by 1. Let's go to the next question. Now let's see what happens if we let's try this one. Solve for u. Okay, well, 14 divided by 5 divided by 7. So we do this, and I think the correct answer here is negative 0.4, if I've done it correctly. Let's check. And I'm correct again, and so my meter went up by 2 this time because I got the question right. Now let's see what happens when we get a question wrong. So I'm just going to guess on this question and say, well, I think the answer is, 6.75. And I'm going to hit submit. And it's going to say, nope, you're wrong. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice is in your progress bar up here, because you got a question wrong, you lost a space. So we were at 3 spaces filled. We had 2 left. Now we're down to 2. When you get a question wrong, you have 2 options. You can recheck. In other words, you can go ahead and retry and see if you get the question right without any assistance. You can say, oh, I know I made a sign error, I made a simple mistake. Let me correct it and hit recheck it. And if you get it right, you'll get your bar back. If you don't know what you did wrong, your other option is to look at the explanation. So let's just look and see what that looks like. And it warns you, if you do the explanation, you're going to forfeit your answer or your chance to answer this question. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to go ahead and proceed to explanation. And you'll notice here that it gives you an explanation of how to do the questions. Apparently the correct answer is 12. And you see how to do this here. And in the explanation, sometimes, not always, there will be hints or further explanations you can click on for more details. So you notice there's an explanation here of why we can do this for the first step of our explanation. So it gives you more detail and information. Once you've worked through and are sure that you understand the explanation, just go ahead and click more practice. If you're not sure you understand the explanation, you can click another explanation. In other words, see another question and its explanation, but you won't get any credit there in your progress bar. So now I've been brought back to more practice and I can continue my assignment. I hope this tutorial was helpful in understanding the assignment interface in ALEKS.